You guys saw the intro. I'm sorry if I'm not enthusiastic today, but we still got to put out a video, so bear with me. Thank you guys for all the kind comments in advance. In Chainsaw Man chapter 169, we finally arrived at the sushi restaurant. Denji contemplates whether the other diners have also experienced similar personal services, which this is where I can't help but love how much of a dimwit Denji is. Into thinking, wow, I wonder if other people had the Shinji hands given to them before coming into the sushi restaurant, which, you know, probability's sake, there's probably maybe a small percentage. Regardless, he confides in Pochita, reflecting on the recent hardships he's endured, yet now finds himself enjoying sushi after a comforting experience, although he notes the emotional impact surpassed the physical pleasure. So what is this saying? Life is tough. I've gone through a lot of recent stuff that mentally I'm kind of like this right now, but despite the hardships in life and despite how cruel the world can be, there's always something beautiful to keep on pursuing and keep on pushing you. Because as cliche as it sounds, that's what life is all about. You have your ups, you have your downs. How can you even really know and cherish the good times when you don't experience the lowest of lows? And I think this is what Denji is ultimately trying to say in this chapter specifically. And if he's asking himself and even talking to Pochita about his emotional state, I think this is the beginning of Denji getting happy. But we'll see how quickly that happiness turns into frustrations and almost malice intent. Meanwhile, an embarrassed Asa claims she can't eat and suggests to Fami that they wait outside, although Fami's too preoccupied with her sushi to respond clearly. You know, Fami, she always had this quirk of this hunger stuff we've seen throughout part 2, but I also kind of like the subtle mystique of how dangerous she can truly become as a horseman. But it seems like right now Fujimoto is kind of just going more on the quirky side, right? Like Makima had these moments in Chainsaw Man part 1 where she would act aloof or she would act a bit flirtatious, but we knew deep down who she was to a core. And it's interesting to see that parallel compared to Fami, where it seems like Fujimoto just doesn't really care enough, or he just truly having a lot of fun with Fami because maybe when we get to Lady Death, the last horseman of the apocalypse, she might have some tendencies more so similar to that of Makima, where, hey, she can also put on this persona, but Lady Death, she means business. So if Fami is really the only horseman, if we also put Asa and Yoru aside into this equation, that let me just make Fami a bumbling idiot who has this unhealthy obsession with food, then, you know, I'm here for it. But what do you guys think of Fami? Next, we go to Haruka as he asks if it's alright to eat without Segi and the Nail Fiend, who are guarding their base. So look, at least now we got the confirmation that Segi and the Nail Fiend, they're out keeping guard, but I wonder how long, if they're even going to be alive, considering what we know in the second half of this chapter. Nobana avoiding the sushi prompts Haruka to question his reluctance. Nobana admits that he doesn't want to be stuck with a bill, leading Haruka to label him as odd. Although Nobana points out that what's even more odd is Asa missing an arm and acting nonchalantly. And again, is she going to continue not having an arm, or do you think she's going to eventually consume the blood of a devil to regrow it? But while all this is fine and dandy, the conversation draws the attention of a man at the table, Barem, who compares Asa's situation to an animal's adaptive nature for survival, questioning the capacity for devils to feel sadness. And if the shock and return of Barem wasn't surprising in this chapter, I love the immediate moments that Denji act in the scenario where he saw that piece of scum and he immediately darts with a knife and tries to stab him, only for Barem to say, I can lead you to Nayata, which is quite literally the only thing that was going to work in that moment. But man, the cojones of Barem arriving is quite shocking, and I think it's safe to say when we last saw him with the house being burned on fire that nothing really indicated that he was truly gone out of the story. But I'm really surprised Fujimoto has just done such an incredible job of making Barem everyone's #1 hit target to just loathe and disgust. More so Yoshida, more so Fumiko. It seems like no, he's doing such a good job of making Barem the poster child of the character we want to see die when he inevitably goes away. You know Fujimoto has something really in store, and it's probably going to be very gruesome for us to witness. But continuing with the chapter, Barem tells Denji to sit next to him, but Denji is very eager to learn of Nayata's location. Barem ends up revealing that they are both targets for public safety once they leave because they have surrounded the entire sushi place, and that Denji's path to finding Nayata involves protecting Barem from what's in store for them. Desperate to help his sister, Denji agrees to Barem's immediate request to share some sushi, setting up the stage for this unlikely team up. First and foremost, you gotta ask yourself, is Barem someone we can trust? And many of us would have liked to assume that this is the moment, even though we never saw her die, that Kishibe saved her. And whether or not Barem is just using this ploy of telling Denji where Nayata is at for him to escape scot-free from public safety. But I wonder if there were some communications with the second in command of the Church of Society, considering we know Fami is the ringleader, and if Fami and Barem had been talking during the sprinkle of Denji escaping from the prison arc and then him going out to the burnt down apartment to, you know, what happened in the alleyway between him and Asa and so forth. Now, yes, while I sip my cup of coffee, yes, there is no Reze. Yes, there is no Kobeni. Never said there was going to be. It would have been nice to see. But the unpredictability of Chainsaw Man is taking some exciting turns considering where we've been in these most recent chapters. But we're going to discuss more of this in the live stream. So if you guys want to see me there, you can go ahead and click this video right here. Take care, guys.